Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Spinner Rack Review. Today we're discussing Legion of Superheroes Millennium number 1. So when I first heard of this comic, I wasn't sure what to make of it. Everybody, of course, is expecting Legion of Superheroes, one of the top groups from the 90s and early 2000s, to come back. And so the question was, how was Bendis going to introduce this? Because basically, this is Bendis' baby. And as we all know, Bendis has taken over the DC universe. So Bendis was able to get the okay from the higher ups that they wanted to redo the Legion of Superhero. And hey, I thought it was a good idea. But then they came out with this whole Millennium comic. And I'm like, what the hell is this? So after looking through it, I think it's pretty interesting. Unfortunately, it's a little late in that in terms of Powers of X and House of X, they have a very similar storyline, and where you have one character who is explaining how things happen over a series of lives. Here, of course, is a series of years. Okay? So the character we're talking about is Rose and Thorn. Of course, that's a supervillain who has the ability to split personalities. One who's nice and kind, that's Rose, and then the evil, superpowered villain Thorn. Of course, as time goes by, we start to understand also that Rose has another power. She is basically immortal. And she only finds this out that when she's no longer getting her medication to suppress her bad side. This Thorn is crazy. She's a monster. She goes down. She fights with everybody. Flash, Superman. So when Rose is able to suppress her other side, we see who she actually is. She's basically been living by herself, and when they no longer make her medication, of course, made by Luthor, she is not able to suppress her other side. She's afraid of what she's going to become because her side has been suppressed so long, and she's been living for such a long time that she didn't realize, she was immortal. Everybody around her died. So she goes over to Supergirl and asks Supergirl for help. And Supergirl, listens to her, but of course she doesn't give her any help. But what this comic basically does is it sets us up that Rose goes through several different ages. So the first one we're dealing with where Supergirl is actually president, and she comes to her as Rose and tries to get some help because of the situation that she's going through. It seems as though she probably does get some help in the end, but that's not long lasting. Next, we jump into an age where she is in the time period where Batman Beyond is, and she's trying to get help again, from a mass superhero. She's hoping that Batman Beyond is Superman, but as we can tell, he's not. And of course, that doesn't work out the way she planned. Then she goes far in the future and she goes to the world of Kamandi. And Kamandi is that boy hero, the last boy on Earth. And she tries to, try to figure things out there, but it doesn't work as she expected. And lastly, she goes into another age where, the far, far future, where they already know who she is. You'd figure that she figures she's immortal. No one knows what she is or what she's doing. But they already got her in the system. That's right. Once you're in the system, baby, you always in it. So what's pretty interesting about this comic, like I said, they go through different ages, and I guess they're trying to move us through all the ages of man up until the 30th and 31st century with the Legion of Superhero. There's different sets of artwork because you have different artists in here. Basically, one thing that I do like is that there's one writer, and that is Bendis, and so there's going to be one consistent vision. The art is pretty interesting. It goes from Jim Lee, Dustin Nguyen, Andrea Sorrentino, and Andre Lima Araud. So it's not a bad thing. I think it's something if you're interested in. If you're a huge superhero, if you're a huge Legion superhero fan, this is going to be something that you're going to be interested in. Just be prepared that this is not the actual Legion superhero originally. That's all I gotta say. Spinner Rack out.